everybody, it's Liz Davis here. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. I use the latest gut testing and dietary changes and supplements to um, get your digestive system working properly as it should do and stop all those pesky symptoms which really get in the way of your life in general and get everything working as it should do. So today I was going to do a quick rundown about something which often takes a back seat in the whole process, but is actually really, really important. Um, so Often we want to do drastic diet changes, we want to take out gluten, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want fancy supplements, etc. And while all those things are really, really important, it's important as well not to forget what we're actually doing while we're eating, leading up to when we're eating, because this is all really, really critical as well. So does any of this sound familiar? So are you prone to wolfing your breakfast down just as you're walking out the door, or squeezing in bites of your toast just as you're sitting at the traffic lights? Or maybe when you eat your lunch, you're kind of munching your lunch, but you're checking your emails at the same time, or you're even worse, trying to meet a deadline, so you're very, very stressed out while you're eating. And then maybe you're sometimes very tired in the evening, so you sit on the sofa and eat your dinner while you're falling asleep, or you fall asleep straight afterwards, or while you're watching the television or whatever. So all of these things are really kind of, for one thing, you're not thinking about what you're doing while you're eating, and if you're not thinking, then your stomach isn't producing all those nice digestive juices to get the whole process going properly. So you probably will feel very uncomfortable afterwards. You're not aware of how much you're eating, and you know the problems, then it can be a knock-on effect. So the next time you get anything like indigestion or heartburn or bloating or anything like that, just have a quick think about what you were actually doing while you were eating. Were you thinking about what you were doing, or were you thinking about something else, or were you trying to do a dozen other different jobs while you were eating? So all these things come into play and can be a problem if you're experiencing any of these kind of issues, because you will be ignoring your hunger signals, you won't know when to stop eating, you'll probably end up eating too much, and all these things will then make your digestive system experience stress that it kind of naturally wouldn't, be experiencing. When we're not thinking about it, also often we're bolting our food. We're bolting it down really quickly because we want to get on to the next thing. It's more like a mindset of, I'm just going to eat this quickly, and then I'll race off to my next meeting. And then you sit in the meeting with indigestion. Why have I got indigestion? Was it something I ate? Probably not. It could have been, but it also could have been how you were actually eating it. So there's a big movement a while ago called mindful eating, and this is a kind of portion of that, really. I mean, my whole mindful eating thing was quite a big movement. But it was really important, actually, because when you become aware of what you're eating, and you actually focus on it, so you're slowing right down and you're really kind of thinking about what your food tastes like. You're getting geared up for your food, so your stomach and your brain are producing the right kind of chemicals it needs to break everything down properly. You're actually savouring your food. It's that whole kind of process of slowing down, which is really going to make sure you don't eat too much. So you're listening to your body's signals and stopping when you need to. You're very aware of how that particular food is making you feel. So any kind of intolerances, may become apparent much more easily. If you know afterwards, after you've eaten a particular food, how it's made you feel. I don't know, so you may then become aware of the fact that bread's making you feel a bit tired, or that particular food's making you feel a bit bloaty. It will become apparent much more easily. Okay, so this also kind of addresses the issue of eating when you're not really hungry. So perhaps you're eating out of habit. So perhaps you're having breakfast every day just because that's what you've always done, but you may not actually be hungry at that point. Again, you're forcing food down when your body doesn't really want it. It could be that you could skip breakfast after all, but you've never actually really thought about it. It's just what you do, it's what you've always done. And then maybe later in the morning you find that breakfast is really sitting like a stone in your stomach. It's not a, it's because you weren't hungry, you didn't want it, and your brain wasn't ready for it, your stomach wasn't ready for it. So then you start to get all these knock-on symptoms. You're not enjoying that food probably either while you're eating it. That's the other thing. So then the next thing would be maybe you feel guilty when you're eating, which is the last thing you want to do as well, because this is also really bad for your digestive process. You might maybe eating because, I don't know, you're stressed out or whatever, and then you feel guilty afterwards, so then you've labelled this particular food as either good or bad, which also it's not helpful for your digestive process either. So the whole thing about it really is being aware of what you eat, taking the time to eat it properly, smell it, prepare yourself for it. While you're eating it, really taste it. This is all going to help the digestive process and stop a lot of those indigestion symptoms and stop overeating. So if you become mindful and aware of what you're eating, you're not going to be eating so much. This indigestion will fade away, this bloating possibly will fade away. A lot of the inflammation you may be experiencing and other ill health may fade away. If you need to lose weight, maybe that will happen because you're not eating, you're not overeating and really stressing your digestive system as well, causing, all that bloating comes about then as well. Okay, so in other words, all this is actually really important. It's very important. It's as important as what you're actually eating, although of course that's important too. And it certainly is important as, any supplements or anything like that you might want to take. Okay, so I hope that helps you. If you do have any other questions, then do book yourself into my diary for a quick chat. And I shall put the link to my diary in the comments if you want to do that. Okay, I hope that was okay. I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.